A victory for transgender youth court blocks harmful order. On March 4, 2025, a federal judge in Maryland delivered a resounding victory for transgender youth and their families. The judge issued a preliminary injunction blocking the Trump administration's executive order. This order aimed to withhold federal funding from institutions providing gender-affirming care to minors under 19. This decision marks a crucial step towards protecting the rights and well-being of transgender youth across the nation. The court's intervention offers a beacon of hope and affirms that discrimination has no place in our society. The Trump administration's executive order represented a direct attack on the healthcare of transgender youth. Gender-affirming care is essential medical care that helps transgender individuals align their physical characteristics with their gender identity. By threatening to withhold funding, the order sought to make it impossible for many transgender youth to access this vital care. The court's decision to block this order is a testament to the power of the judicial system to safeguard the rights of vulnerable communities. This victory is not just a legal triumph, it is a victory for human dignity and compassion. Transgender youth deserve access to the same quality healthcare as their cisgender peers. Denying them this care is not only discriminatory but also puts their physical and mental well-being at risk. The court's decision recognizes the importance of affirming transgender identities and ensuring that all young people have the opportunity to thrive. This ruling sends a clear message that attempts to marginalize and harm transgender youth will not be tolerated. It is a powerful affirmation that transgender rights are human rights, and that the courts will stand as a bulwark against discrimination. As we celebrate this victory, we must also acknowledge that the fight for transgender equality is far from over. We must remain vigilant in our efforts to protect the rights of transgender people and to create a society that is truly just and equitable for all. Challenging discrimination, the ACLU and Lambda Legal take a stand. The lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's harmful executive order was filed in February 2025 by two prominent legal advocacy organizations, the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, and Lambda Legal. These organizations have a long and distinguished history of fighting for the rights of LGBTQ+ individuals and have been at the forefront of the battle for transgender equality. The ACLU and Lambda Legal filed this lawsuit on behalf of transgender youths and their families who are members of PF-LAG National, an organization that unites families and allies in support of LGBTQ+ people. The ACLU and Lambda Legal argued that the Trump administration's executive order was unconstitutional and discriminatory. They contended that it violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, which guarantees equal protection under the law to all citizens. Additionally, they argued that the order violated the Affordable Care Act's prohibition on sex discrimination in healthcare. The decision to challenge this executive order was not taken lightly. The ACLU and Lambda Legal recognized the profound impact that this order would have on the lives of transgender youth and their families. They understood that access to gender-affirming care is essential for the well-being of transgender youth, and that denying them this care would have devastating consequences. The bravery of the transgender youth and families who came forward to challenge this discriminatory order cannot be overstated. By sharing their stories and putting their names on this lawsuit, they have helped to shine a light on the injustices faced by transgender people across the country. Their courage and resilience are an inspiration to us all. The human cost of discrimination hardships faced by transgender youth. The Trump administration's executive order caused significant hardship and distress for transgender youth and their families. This order created a climate of fear and uncertainty, forcing many transgender youth to delay or forego necessary medical care. The plaintiffs in the lawsuit filed by the ACLU and Lambda Legal cited numerous hardships resulting from the executive order. One of the most pressing issues was the interruption of gender-affirming care. This type of care is essential for many transgender youth, and interrupting it can have serious physical and psychological consequences. Some transgender youth experienced unwanted physical changes due to the interruption of hormone therapy, leading to increased gender dysphoria and emotional distress. Beyond the immediate medical consequences, the executive order also had a profound impact on the mental health of transgender youth. Many reported experiencing increased anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. The fear and uncertainty created by the order weighed heavily on their minds, making it difficult to focus on school, work, or even daily life. The Trump administration's attempt to restrict access to gender-affirming care was not only cruel, but also counterproductive. Studies have consistently shown that transgender youth who receive gender-affirming care experience improved mental health outcomes and are less likely to engage in self-harm or attempt suicide. By denying them this care, the administration was putting their lives at risk. A future of hope, upholding transgender rights and dignity. The court's decision to block the Trump administration's discriminatory executive order is a significant victory for transgender rights. However, the fight for equality is far from over. Transgender people continue to face discrimination and prejudice in many areas of life, including healthcare, education, employment, and housing. Despite these ongoing challenges, the court's ruling offers a glimmer of hope. It serves as a reminder that the courts can be a powerful tool for social justice, and that we must continue to hold our elected officials accountable for upholding the rights of all citizens. The fight for transgender equality is ultimately a fight for human dignity and respect. It is a fight to ensure that all people, regardless of their gender identity or expression, are treated with the same respect and afforded the same opportunities. We must continue to challenge discriminatory laws and policies, to educate ourselves and others about the transgender experience, and to create a world where all transgender people feel safe, valued, and respected. The court's ruling is a step in the right direction, but it is up to all of us to continue the fight for transgender equality.